This is the Crookedrivercast. I am Robert, and the other voice you're going to hear is Tom, and we are two guys trying to keep track of what is going on in the great state of Ohio. This is show 54 for the week of March 30th, 2026. Let's get right into it. We got lots to talk about. Do it. In the morning. Well, I did the unthinkable for the last couple days.
Okay.
How you doing, Tom? Everything good?
Yeah, everything's good. I'm trying to think of what's unthinkable, but if it's unthinkable, I can't think of
You
it.
can't think of it because I couldn't think of it until a few years ago, and then I realized it slapped me in the face a few months ago. I took my daughter driving, Tom.
Nice.
Yeah.
You've been waiting about 15 years for this, right?
I didn't think it would ever come, but I didn't think I'd be the one doing it because I didn't. But
Well, pretty soon you're going to be waving goodbye out the window as she goes off to college.
Oh. Yeah, that's a whole nother scary part. And it's not the going away part, it's the college part. It's the professor's part. But yeah, so I think my wife said, hey, maybe you can take her out a few times and you could show her a couple of things, maybe, different.
Well, that is a dad's role.
I mean, I don't disagree, but I think maybe the first few times it was good to have a softer voice in the car and not somebody who said, brakes! I didn't really do that. I actually did do it. Well, actually, the only time I yelled at her, because obviously you shouldn't yell because who knows what pedal she'll press, is when I told her to stop apologizing. Sorry, Dad. Sorry. Oh, sorry. I said, watch the curb. Sorry. I said, stop saying sorry. She's okay. I said, you're doing great. It's okay. Just don't. I was like, look, it was a success. She's like, was? I go, yeah, we didn't hit anything. She didn't laugh.
Well, how's she doing?
Doing good. She did. I mean, she's white knuckling it.
Yeah, okay.
The normal stuff, like when you turn and then what do you do with your hands? Like
How to go do keep your hands on the wheel.
Hand over hand kind of thing. And
Yeah.
she hasn't taken any classes yet. She's doing the online stuff. So we're just getting her out, getting her a little bit familiar with all this stuff. And then she's going to taking her class. So they'll probably teach her a lot of this. But I'm like, I'm watching her as she turns and then her arms are starting to become an X. And now she doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, that's where girls and boys are different, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't ever feel like I ever went through any of that when I was learning how to drive. And frankly, I learned how to drive before I really should have. But
Yeah, I went right to the suicide palms.
well, there's that. I mean, you do watch your parents, right? And my dad wasn't the most, safest driver.
Yeah, it wasn't. He's not the most cautious driver. Yeah, actually, probably
Right.
is now more than he was back then. I'm sure.
Oh, way more. Yeah. At least I think I still got stains in my underwear from that.
Oh, I bet. I can only imagine. I've heard, stories I've heard. Yeah, so that was interesting. I think she does. No, I think she did great. I don't. It's fun. It's just you notice all these things that you take for granted when you're driving, like turning right and either not hitting the curb or ending up in the opposite lane when you're done with the turn.
Yeah. See that I don't think I ever had an issue with negotiating a turn. Maybe a little bit. No, not really. I can't.
You don't remember just hitting the curb, turning too sharp and going over a curb?
No.
Yeah, you blocked that out.
No, I mean, if I did it, it was because I was screwing off, not
Yeah.
because I didn't know how to turn.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine that said, you're not going to take her out in the truck? I'm like, no. I'll give her a chance at least to succeed.
Yeah.
She's speaking of turning corners. Yeah, what is she going to end up on? She's going to take out stop signs with that thing.
The one thing I remember, which I got knocked on got a knock on my score when I took the test, was when I made a left-hand turn. I cut it a little bit too sharp. There was no car there. Let's say there's a turning lane going the opposite direction.
Yeah,
not the opposite
you cut the corner. Yeah,
I just cut the corner a little too sharp instead of I remember doing that, but as far as like right-hand turns, no, I never really. I'm trying to think back. I don't remember ever doing that.
Yeah, people still do it. That's a very common thing to cut that corner like that. Especially when I'm sitting at the traffic light. You're like, what the? Could you get any closer?
Oh yeah, yeah. People don't pay attention.
Yeah,
Especially when you're coming up to a red light and somebody's turning left from the other.
Yep.
You know, and you're like, what the hell? You just went into my lane here. Yeah. And that happens. I raise my fist and I say, I'm not gonna do anything.
I'm gonna use. I gotta go. But therein lies the fear in Dad. It's not her. It's like, oh my gosh, look at all these other people on the road. I'm driving now with a whole different set of glasses on. And
yeah,
it's scary as hell to think some of these people are going to be driving next to my daughter.
Overall, it's not so bad. You know what I worry about most? Well, I don't worry about it, but I don't ride a motorcycle anymore. But if I did, it would freak me out because of all the people on their phone.
I would definitely have a trailer. I would trailer it into Amish country, and then I'd get on it. No.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that. But I mean, it would, like, it's something you really, if you're on a bike, gosh, man, it would freak me out now because of all the phones I see up when people are driving.
Yeah. And that's the next question, maybe, is a lot of people we know are using Life 360.
What?
You ever heard of Life 360? The app and service day?
No.
So I know a few people that have this. Currently, actually, some of my kids' friends or their friends' parents have it. And it's a service, it's an app, it's a service, and it's basically geolocating whoever you choose. And it's not like, you could do that with Apple pretty easily with the Find My feature.
Yeah.
And you could even pick who you share it with and all of those stuff. It's kind of cool. And I do use that on occasion, see where, is she on their way home? My wife or something.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, this is like, it'll alert you when the person goes over a certain speed limit, hard braking, all this other stuff, along with where they're at. Like, not in Apple Find Mine is pretty accurate, but this is like hyper accurate.
I don't know what app my sister-in-law put on my in-laws, because he's in his 90s and he still occasionally takes the car out. So I know they put an app on his phone, and I think what it did was if he's in an accident, it locates him too. But if he's in an accident, it tells you if there was some kind of collision or something.
Very likely it's that or something, a competitor of them, because they're the one that everybody seems to have Life 360, and I'm not sure. I don't know. What do you think? Would you want to see every broken speed limit and harsh braking from?
No, can you select those off? Like, I would not.
You could, but what's the point of having
it? I know it's easier to say since I don't have a teenager or kids, but I wouldn't want to watch my child like that. But I would like to know if there's an accident, like if there's options to if you can pick and choose what you're notified about.
Well,
like the speed limit thing, no way, man. I can't. I wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
To them.
I don't know. I have to look into it. I don't want to get into another service I have to pay for.
Let them get a couple of tickets.
Well, that's let's see how you do first. I do trust her. She's pretty responsible for a kid at her age, I think, at least as of now. I mean, they had some spirit games or something Friday at school. And I picked her up and I was like, "Hey, how's your day?" She's like, I was like, "What?" That's Spirit Day. I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "We spent most of the day in the gym." I go, and that's not good? No, I'd rather be in class. I could talk to my friends, and I looked at her. I said, "Wait a minute, what are you doing at the thing?" She's like, "Well, I couldn't sit with all my friends." I'm like, she's like, and basically what she was explaining is like, yeah, most of the classes are easy. Me and my friends kind of we get it done, and then we just kind of BS all day. I'm like, oh, okay. So she'd rather just be in class, and so she's, I trust her. Man, her sister, I don't know yet, but.
Well, the other thing
let's see how far and that's kind of way we've always done it. I'm going to give you this. I give you this freedom, this privilege don't ruin it because I'll take it away. And so far, she's been pretty good at it. Of course, I haven't looked at her web history in a while. So.
The other thing is, she's a girl too. It's
Yep.
A boy's a little bit different. I still wouldn't do it to a boy. I would rather, unless he's a totally reckless kid, I would rather have him get a ticket for speeding.
And a ticket, not a 6 over ticket.
What do you mean 6 over?
Well, not 6 over, not 6 miles an hour over, like a ticket. Not like he's doing 15 or more.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, if he's doing 55 and a 35 and he gets a ticket, I'm going to be like, well, there you go. That's what happens.
Yeah. And now you can't drive because the insurance just went up to $9,000 a month. So sorry, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
That's the next one is how's that? Now she as a girl is going to be slightly less, but it's not going to be that much less. I'm anticipating it to be a few $100s a month, $200 a month, 180, something like that for her.
That's a lot.
I don't know. I have no idea. I've heard stories, some of my brothers and stuff telling me, they were paying thousands of dollars a year, like $7,000 a year for the family.
For the family?
Two boys.
For two boys?
2 boys and
well,
2
it
girls.
is 2 boys, and I don't know what your... Me and my wife paid $1,200 a year.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about what we... Yeah, probably less than it, because you guys... Yeah, I think...
I got 3 cars, 2 drivers, so we're paying a little bit more.
Yeah, a little bit more.
I think it's like, I don't know. It turned out to be like $15 more a month for that extra car.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, so I can't wait. I'll keep you posted.
I remember what it was when I was 16. It was $600 for the year.
Yeah, which was like 5 times more.
Yeah,
than what your dad was paying, probably.
I don't remember what they were paying. I remember what it was $600 for the year, which is nowadays cheap. But
yeah, they're probably paying 2 a year or something. I remember when I was getting it, when I was getting insurance and stuff. It was like 2 or 3 times like what my parents were paying per month or something. It was crazy. I had to sign affidavits I wouldn't drive my parents' car, and if I did and got in an accident, they wouldn't cover it.
Oh yeah, we didn't have anything like that
to save money.
I gotcha.
Yeah,
I mean, because I drove my parents' car for the first few months, and then I got my own car. And I don't remember them ever saying, even when I got the 280ZX Turbo, it went up a little bit, but it didn't go up a lot. Yeah, I mean, times are different.
Yeah. And definitely not going to be able to afford the Supra car insurance that you want. But so that'll be interesting. Yeah, I'm curious. The next couple of weeks, we're probably going to look into it because, she'll be driving this year, so.
Do you need that? I guess you don't need that when she's temporary.
No.
Okay.
I imagine I should probably check. I'm pretty sure she's covered under my insurance.
Well, I would assume. Right.
And if she bumps into somebody, all she has to do is start crying, and they're just going to say, "Go ahead, don't worry about it."
Yeah. Right.
I'll teach her the right way. All right, on to the news, Tom. On to the news. Yeah, do we even talk about Iran?
What?
Do we even talk about Iran?
Should we even mention it?
Should we bring it up? I mean, you don't seem to be paying attention to it, so I'm kind of curious about that though. I thought thinking about during the week whether I should put it in or not. In the last couple of weeks, you've been like, I haven't really paid attention, so I thought maybe that was the story. Is that something you're not? Is it something you're just not interested in, or because it doesn't seem like you've been paying attention much, which I get. I'm just.
Are you going to let me talk here?
Eventually, I might. Sometime today. I mean, possibly.
I am not paying attention to each little story that comes out because there is no story. And I am paying attention to the overall dynamics of it, I guess. Like right now, the funny thing is Trump's saying they're negotiating. They're saying they're not negotiating. So media is making Trump look stupid. I think they are negotiating. I think there's going to be a lot more news for next week's show or the week after, because he gave him till when? April 10th?
Yeah, I believe that was the date. I think they're negotiating with somebody. who that is, who knows, and who's saying that they're not negotiating, who knows? Like, how do you?
Well, I find it funny that they side with the Iranians before they side with their own president.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's not orange. They're not orange. Orange man bad trumps almost everything, pun intended. Yeah, I think. What was the gift? Did you hear what the gift was? So he said, yeah, the gift was
very expensive.
It was supposedly 5 or 6 oil tankers being allowed to pass through the Strait of Hormuz.
Okay, who told you that?
It was a military channel. They're pulling up news stories, and some of the reports where they were Pakistani flagged ships. Was it really a gift, or was it just is Iran friendly with Pakistan kind of things? There are some ships going through the strait, but it's really people who are aligned with Iran. They're letting them go through, giving them the coordinates and all that stuff. Regardless, my point is nobody knows, and there's a lot of people reporting, but nobody really knows anything because how do they get any information out of Iran? How do you rely on anything at this point?
This is why I'm not really paying attention. I'm just kind of viewing it from the outside. I mean, we all are, I guess, but yeah. I'm not. There's no details, so it's just all rumors and just speculation. So I'm not.
It seems every few days they're gonna strike even harder and strike even harder, talking about United States, and I'm like, at some point you can't strike any harder.
Well, there's nothing to strike.
Well, yeah, I know there's that, but that's the other that goes to it. They're saying Trump's saying, well, one more time, and we're really going to hit you hard, the final blow, and all this other stuff. And you're like, well, I get it. I get this. A lot of this is propaganda and negotiation and all that stuff. But it's like, how much harder, or how much are they going to go? I think they're going to go after the power plants next. That'd be the last thing they have to hit. They're hitting all the military targets continuously. They've hit almost 8,000 targets, 9,000 targets, 10,000 targets. The next is take the power out.
I guess, yeah, sure.
Then you have humanitarian
I think we have to get a handle on Israel, because I think they're screwing things up for us.
Yeah, that's possible. Or we do have a handle on Israel, and they're doing exactly what we want them to do, and we get to blame them for it. I don't know. Could be either way.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe they're doing things that we don't want to take heat for, like hitting power plants or oil refineries. And then the final thing everybody's talking about really is troops on the ground, boots on the ground. Are they going to take an island? They're going to take that Kark island. That would be pretty hard considering how close they are to the shoreline with missiles and drones. And oh my gosh. Through all this, and one of the other things I'm watching some of these military channels for is what's going on elsewhere that nobody's really paying attention to. And Ukraine is taking it to the Russians. And what I'm noticing is, I don't know, again, pattern recognition. We're talking with Russia, we're talking with Ukraine, we're talking with Russia, we're talking with Ukraine, and nothing seems to be happening. And all of a sudden that kind of fades away. We attack Iran, and now Ukraine is hitting Russia really hard and crippling their oil refineries. Ukraine is sending drone boats. Sound familiar? Drone boats over into areas closer to Russia, oil refineries, and bombing their oil refineries and ports. I don't know. It just seems, I don't know. All of a sudden we stop talking about, talks with, or not stop talking about it. It kind of just faded away. And then all of a sudden, all this happens. So is this, to me, just ties it all in.
It's all about the petrodollar.
Yeah. Yeah. So is Trump going, I'm done with you, Putin. I'm just going to side with Zelensky and start feeding them information. And, we're not hearing about it, but that's kind of.
I think if Trump gets what he wants with Iran, the whole idea of making the dollar stronger, making the dollar again the thing they trade with for oil, that is exactly what Trump wants.
Yeah. And
that forces Russia into it, that forces China into it. Everything lines up. It seems kind of convoluted, but you got Venezuela, you got Cuba. Well, I should go back. You can go all the way back to the what was the pipeline that got blown up? That they say Ukraine blew up.
Yep. The Russian. Nord Stream.
The Nord Stream. So that forced Europe to bump up their what was it? Their gas from America from like 20%, 28% to 58%, something like that. I'm just kind of throwing numbers out there, but it's those are close, which made us a little richer. And now you're dealing with Iran. It's going to force them to buy more gas, and it's going to force them to, if we're controlling that oil on Krog Island, or not the oil, but the
port, basically.
The port, basically. That reestablishes America as a powerhouse of the world.
Yeah, don't forget, what it's doing right now is crippling China.
Mm-hmm.
China gets a large amount of the oil.
And guess what's happening next week or the week after?
Is he going to China?
Yep.
And he's postponed it. He postponed it, I think, maybe to let it sink in. Everybody's going, oh, no, Trump has no plan. He has no plan for the Strait, or does he? Well, maybe this is the plan.
He's meeting with Xi or whatever his name is.
X.
And
XI.
In China. Yeah, X. He's meeting with Xi in China, and then Xi is coming here to America. So this is kind of all lining up if it goes well in Iran.
Say, hey, how about them tariffs? Hey, how about that Strait?
Mm-hmm.
Some would call him number 11, by the way, XI.
And don't forget, like, there was the whole thing with the Suez Canal, the Panama Canal, and taking Greenland too, wanting Greenland, and also Venezuela, Cuba, all that stuff lines up to make America the powerhouse it ought to be, and raising the value of the dollar again. And meaning we're going to have cheap stuff again, and I think it's kind of a convoluted thing, but it might be the actual plan.
I mean, seems all pointing back to China and BRICS nations and that kind of thing. Yeah, the dollar and all right.
Look what's happened. Gold is going down, silver's going back down, and Bitcoin took a crap, but the dollar went up.
Yep, that's good for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, almost everybody, except those few countries we're talking about. And after you lose Saudi Arabia, they didn't re-sign a deal to use the petrodollar. Are they? It sounds like they're probably thinking about signing that thing again. I imagine that's in the works or something to that effect. Hey, we'll protect you. You got to sign here. I mean, if we're going to do it, you might as well do it. My problem is we've done this foreign stuff in the past for personal benefit, say to, I don't know, politicians in Washington, instead of the benefit of the American people. And, when they're canceling tariffs, we're canceling our tariffs on China, but they're not making China cancel their tariffs on us because it helps the politicians. And I think that's enough of that.
Rob,
yeah,
let's not talk about Iran.
Yeah, I figured we wouldn't talk much about it. Anyway, moving on to the story. I guess the headline of the week is, ICE is at the airports, Tom. What's going to happen? I don't even know what to do. Let's start with what we got. Channel 3 report about kind of what Trump did. So the lines at the airports are going crazy. Some places 5 or 6 hours. Let's hear from News Channel 3, the National.
We'll have the latest from Hopkins in just a moment. But first, Karen Kafa has details from Washington.
President Donald Trump says it was his idea to send immigration and customs enforcement agents into some of the nation's busiest airports.
ICE was my idea. First person I called was Tom Homan. I said, what do you think? He said, I think it's great.
ICE agents under the direction of Border Czar Tom Homan were deployed to more than a dozen U.S. airports Monday
12 airports.
As call-outs and resignations by Transportation Security Administration officers climb amid a stalemate over Homeland Security funding that's left them without pay since mid-February.
I've never seen lines like those before. And those certainly pose security issues for all of those folks involved. And that has to be addressed right away.
Homan said agents would help TSA in areas that don't need their specialized expertise, like screening through X-ray machines.
ICE has a specific, very important mission on its own, and to be taking them off their regular jobs for which they're specifically trained makes very little sense to me.
Shut it. We need to take them out. So lines are going crazy. The news is all about chaos at the TSA or at TSA check lines. So what did they do? They sent out TSA agents. Okay. How many did they send out? They sent a dozen airports. And it's funny how a few ICE agents sent to a dozen or so airports and the lines are gone. Do you know how many agents they sent out? Because I had a hard time even finding it.
I did not see that.
Okay.
I don't see an like from the video footage, I don't see an overwhelming amount in the airports.
Well, the news really hit hard because they're in Cleveland, Tom. They're at Hopkins.
Well.
I don't think they needed to be. I don't think Hopkins really had any line problems. I didn't hear any. There's no news reports anywhere about it. And I knew a couple people that flew through the area over the last week or so, and they're not noticing really any. Maybe it's 10 minutes instead of walking through. But naturally, everybody's head was exploding. No, not ICE at the airports. What's going to happen? Well, all the lines went away. But what are the ICE agents doing at the airport? Like it said in the report, all they were doing was, from what I understand it, they're taking some of the medial watch this door, keeping people moving in the line and stuff like that. They're not running the machines. They're not doing the pat downs or anything like that. So here's Atlanta, 6-hour wait. They send ICE agents there, and then it goes to a 40-minute wait within a day, which is almost normal, I think, a half hour or something like that. Big airport. What are they doing? How can this be? You send 10 or 20 ICE agents to an airport, and all of a sudden the lines go away? Could it be something else that maybe their lines went down? Maybe people didn't want to see ICE, or there's certain people that maybe thought it was unsafe with ICE at the airport to go. Do we really have that much of an immigration problem that you send a few ICE agents to airports and all of a sudden the lines go away because half the people stay home? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, but it's well, here, if you send 10 ICE agents to Atlanta airport with 6-hour wait line, what have they done? Has it really made that much of an impact? 10 people? I don't know. It seems like if that's all it took, it doesn't seem like, I don't know, like it's a big problem, I guess. But it's problem
maybe
enough.
The TSA just sucks at what they do.
Well, that could be. There could be something to that. could be possibly they've gotten worse since they've been government. What are the chances of the same agency that once was private, now that's a government agency, getting worse? Never happened. Never happens.
No.
Almost never happens. Except every single time. But of course, when you have ICE show up, you know what comes next?
Oh, I would think. I don't know. Maybe a lot of blue-haired women.
Blue-haired freaks. Blue-haired freaky people need not apply. Let's listen
As my friend calls them, just filthy hippies.
Filthy animals. Let's listen to the rest of this report. This is the local side of the News Channel 3 report. ICE at the airports.
And our Annabelle Childers is live at Cleveland Hopkins speaking with travelers.
Great audio.
Annabelle, what are you seeing there?
For us, throughout today, these federal agents have been very visible. This is something that travelers are not used to seeing, and their reactions are mixed. Moving in pairs or groups, ICE agents are now in the Cleveland Hopkins International Airport.
It's tough to say, I guess, if they're assisting, but I don't like seeing ICE in the airport or around Cleveland. So, I don't know. That's interesting.
I have no problem with that at all. I mean, if they're there to help, that's fine. Because you obviously need more people.
Cleveland is one of more than 10 U.S. airports where the Trump administration has deployed agents to help amid a shortage of TSA workers. Though operations in Cleveland appear to be running smoothly, travelers aren't immune to the domino effect of issues at other airports. Trevon Williams flew into Cleveland this morning from Atlanta after waiting nearly 6 hours to get through security.
Crowded and packed, like too much going on in there. Like everybody was irritated and frustrated.
Take the marbles out, man.
Ain't nobody want to be in there for real.
Meanwhile, travelers flying to the LaGuardia airport like Josephine Palmiro experienced sudden cancellations after the deadly plane collision there.
You know, I immediately rescheduled my flights. But even when I came to Cleveland, I got there way before I needed to, just to make sure I could get through TSA.
While ICE agents will only be assisting in security roles, Cleveland Hopkins acknowledged the new activity and issued a statement saying Cleveland Hopkins International Airport is aware of the presence of federal partners on site. These personnel are supporting TSA operations in a non-screening role, including assisting with passenger flow and divesting. They are not conducting identification checks or screening passengers.
So how much help can they actually be? Sorry, I forgot I had 2 clips on this, not the protest clip. But how effective can they actually be when all they're doing is some extra backup security role? Something seems weird. And who had more testosterone there, the woman or the guy? Could you tell which one was the guy?
I don't like to see them anywhere. I'd rather have illegal aliens all over the place, sucking the welfare system dry. That's why it's much more interesting.
I'm sure he then went outside with these guys here. Here's the News Channel 3 on the protests. I mean, so first, if you look at the news story, the pictures are quite cropped because there was like 5 people there. Actually, they say 24.
Is
here
that
at home about 24?
Sorry, what?
Is this in front of the airport or where is this taking place? Because
okay, yeah, you'll hear.
People tried to protest ICE agents at Cleveland Hopkins Airport tonight, but they never really quite made it there. They planned to take the RTA red line in, but the airport stop was shut down and police turned them away when they tried to drive in. This comes as nearly 150 ICE agents have been deployed to 14 airports nationwide to help TSA officers amid staffing shortages.
The Trump administration is undermining the safety of our public spaces and the dignity of public workers. It's a shame and it's an insult.
There's still no word yet on how long ICE agents will remain at Hopkins. Meanwhile, the Senate has again failed to fund DHS today, including TSA.
Yeah, so passionate about her cause, she has to read it from her phone.
I had a buddy who got caught up in all this. He was picking up a friend from the airport. So we got a little bit boots on the ground. He didn't know what was going on. He went to a Chipotle's to get some food before he went to pick up his friend at the airport. I think I'm guessing this is from around the West Side, Lakewood or Rocky River, or maybe even Cam's Corner, around from that area. And he got caught up in a line of cars of protesters.
Yeah.
They were honking their horns. And so he was stuck in traffic with all these filthy hippies, as he called them. And he was, he had to really try to maneuver to get around them, and he got ahead of them. So he lost them, but it sounded like it was a significant number of cars. They're talking about a bus here on this clip. Once he got to the airport, he was like, oh no, what's going on? He saw there was a bunch of cops, and what they were doing is letting people through or diverting them. So it was a checkpoint. So that's why there was no issues at the airport.
Yeah, hats off to the Cleveland police.
Yeah, but it did take him probably an extra hour to get this all done.
Yeah, I guess the one place they don't mess around with protests is the airport.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, shoot, you can't even do any, the worst place you want to protests at the airport. But how would they know that? So, yeah, they shut down the RTA rapid line going into the airport. And then they put up a checkpoint to get in the airport to filter these freaks out so they didn't start causing all kinds of havoc. I don't think that happened at all the airports. But so hats off to Cleveland police. I saw this. I was like, holy cow, they actually did that?
Well, hats off to whoever told them to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like the mayor had nothing to do with this, in my opinion.
Probably not.
It sounds like just a classic. I mean, that's brilliant. That's exactly what you should be doing in that case. Shut down the avenues to get in and don't, I mean, or let them get in and then see what happens. Because once they get in there and start messing around there, I would see at some point it would become a federal charge. And that's not something they want to do right now with the Trump administration. Going after these protesters. So maybe they should have let them in. I don't know. Could have really cleaned up the neighborhood a little bit. But then again, they said in here, 150 ICE agents over 14 airports. So you basically have like 10 agents per airport. I don't know. I'm thinking, is this? I'm obviously the joke online is, oh, look at all ICE agents show up at airports and all the lines go away. Huh? What is that a coincidence or is there something to that? Like, is there a whole bunch we have that many illegals that would cut down on the airport lines in certain cities? And maybe, but I doubt it. I'm thinking is this more of a fabricated crisis in certain factions or certain areas of the TSA?
Actually, I was wondering if the places that had long lines that people were saying there's, I think Austin was one of them.
Yeah, Austin, Atlanta.
I'm wondering if those are places that just have terrible lines anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just made it a little worse.
Their lines are generally under an hour from the stupid research I did. So at Cleveland, most days you can almost walk through TSA. Sometimes you'll have a 15-minute because it's a smaller airport. Now, right. Houston or Atlanta, maybe it's an hour wait, 45 minutes wait, which is quite long compared to Cleveland. But they were telling people to get to the airport 4 hours beforehand, and they were still missing their flights.
If you think about it, if you're missing 10% of your staff, and then you typically have an hour wait, I don't think that's going to end up just being an extra 10 minutes or 6 minutes or 10%. No. I think that's going to be a lot more.
Basically, you're only having a small percentage of the scanning machines for carry-on baggage. That's for the people. So that's where but that's where the TSA or the ICE is not going. So if they're sending 10 people into Atlanta and then they've taken those 10 people, putting them on, is that making that much of a difference? Apparently, maybe, obviously to some extent. But I'm also thinking, are they just pissed off and they're just doing it a lot slower than they normally would anyway to make it worse in some areas? Not every airport, but some airports. I don't know. And then the TSA comes and, they're going to report back to Daddy, who's Daddy Trump. And I don't know. Something just seems like sending 10 ICE agents to an airport. Yes, it would make it better, but would it cut it from 6 hours to 40 minutes? Seems like a lot. But that's just my tinfoil hat, conspiracy hat.
There's something to that. I think I'm wondering if it's just like you said, a manufactured crisis here, basically, because there was no reports of things in Cleveland, right?
No.
Okay. No. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, hey, they're not getting paid, so it's not like I'm judging all that much. I mean, I'd probably kind of be pissed too. Maybe I'm going to work a lot slower because I'm not getting paid.
I'm not. But I'm kind of down on TSA, not the people working it.
No, the organization.
Yeah. Well, it's government.
Government bureaucracy. It's BS. Yep. All right. Well, I mean, then of course the algorithm does what the algorithm does, and YouTube put this in front of my face, so I had to pull it for the show. So we'll touch on some ICE stuff from our friend Rob Schneider, or is it Schneider? Who's the comedian? It's not Schneider. Yeah, maybe. It is Schneider. Maybe, or whatever. You know who it is here.
It's hard to be a comedian these days, I'll tell you the truth, because the stuff on social media is 10 times funnier than anything you could do. My favorite thing now is Mexican guys on TikTok or whatever, or they're like on Instagram going, "Please, Donald Trump, ICE, Don't take me suegra, please. Do not take my mother-in-law back to Mexico. Her name is Maria Gonzalez. She's 4'11", 295 pounds. She lives 311 Nelson Avenue. She's there right now. Please don't come and take her, whatever you do. I will help you move her stuff.
Love that guy. All right. Moving on to Ohio. I mean, we were in Ohio, but it was more of a national thing. But moving on to Ohio, we have a Ohio Press Network story, which is Ohio poll shows neck-and-neck races for governor and Senate. We kind of talked about this, was it last week before, about Houston and Brown. And this is another poll. And it says, it's a Quintus poll. Yeah, whatever that is. So it's showing raised within margins for the 2026 gubernatorial race and the Senate race. Survey was conducted on March 13th to the 14th of 26 among 808 likely voters. 88, of course. Shows Democrat former Ohio Department of Health Director Amy Acton leading Republican Vivek Ramaswamy 45.9 to 44.9 in the gubernatorial race. In the Senate special election, Republican incumbent John Husted is edging out Democratic former Senator Sherrod Brown 45.5 to 44.4. Both results fall within the poll's margin of error of 3.5%. That's how you present a poll. Thank you. Put all the information in the freaking second paragraph, including the margin of error, and don't bury it somewhere. So Acton polls stronger support from Democrats. Oh, no kidding. And independents, 85% for Democrats, and she's polling 45% approval for independents, while Ramaswamy, a biotech entrepreneur and 2024 presidential hopeful, dominates among Republicans, 89%.
So here's real clear politics. I'm looking at their polls. There's only 3 polls for them too, and I think we talked about this.
Yeah.
But Bowling Green / YouGov, which you would think it would be slanted left, right?
Yeah.
The Ramaswamy is at 50 and Acton's at 47. Emerson, that was taken last October. Emerson was taken in December, which is 45 to 46. Ramaswamy at 45. And Qantas, which is what you're talking about here, was taken in March, and it's 45 to 46. So in aggregate, Ramaswamy's leading by 0.4.
Yep. And the Senate race doesn't look much different. It's neck and neck at 2 and neck and neck 2. This is, I think the important part for this poll, for the Qantas poll, is where is it at here? It was, it's a poll sample leaning Republican 39% to Democrat 32%, which is on par with Ohio's R+6 leaning towards Republicans. So this should be, to me, more accurate poll than some others, because they're actually polling more Republicans, which is what they should, because the state is more Republican than Democrat. And it's still that close. I think that says a lot about how close it is. I think it's way too close for the governor's race. I think that's...
I think it's going to clear up as we go. It's too early to really... The primary hasn't even happened yet, so we'll see. I think it's going to be closer than you want it to be, but I don't think it's going to be that close.
To me, that's the story. It's way closer than it. I mean, I get it. It's going to be close. It's going to be within 10 points easily, but...
Oh, it's always... I mean, even... I think the first time DeWine won, he only won by 4, and the second time he only won by 6.
Yeah, I get that.
That's always like that, though.
I get that, but the person running on one side was not the person who locked you down for a year.
DeWine locked us down.
Oh, I get it. Oh, I totally get it. Yeah.
I mean, well, yeah, okay. So she gets approval of 79% of the Democrats. They're always going to vote Democrat.
And Vivek Vivek was on DeWine's COVID response team. So they're trying to push everything on Amy as far as the lockdown stuff. What was Vivek's deal during that whole time?
Nobody even knew who he was at that time.
Right, but he was on the board for the COVID response for DeWine. So he was putting in.
Okay.
What he was he putting in the same recommendations as Amy? We don't know.
Well,
maybe
why would he
look into?
I don't think he was. Yeah, it's maybe something to look into, but he wouldn't. Acton is the one she didn't have. I don't think she had the authority to shut anything down, but he was listening to her.
Sure. Yeah.
She's the medical.
Right.
She's the Dr. Acton.
And it's again, as we talked about Senate race last week, that's pretty close. Even in this poll, which is it's still within the margin of error, and and
that's the one I'm. That's the one I'm more. I'm not going to say worried because I could care less, but. If I'm rooting for somebody, it would be Houston to win, but that's the one I would think Brown or the Democrats have more of a chance to win.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, because of Brown's name recognition and such.
Yeah.
And then brings up this our next, or even it's in there. Just a little op-ed piece here, kind of to my point, I think. From the Blaze, from Daniel Horowitz, who posted this on X. It is Dr. Lockdown, Ohio Democrat governor candidates COVID, or Ohio Democrat governor candidates COVID tranny comes back to haunt her. Tyranny. Why did I did say tranny, didn't I?
Yeah.
Too many tranny stories, but she still may win. And more importantly, his X post is more. So he says, and when he puts the article on X, he and go check it out. It's he's pretty harsh on Amy, and she deserves it in most ways, in my opinion. But
she's terrible.
Yeah, she's terrible. But he says
it'll come out even more. So once they actually start talking more,
she's trying to. It sounds like now she's trying to, DeWine's trying to cover up for her, and put cover for her, and which. A lot of it goes to him, but she was making these recommendations. And as a leader, she was the health leader. She was our health leader. She was our health leader. And then she quit.
Even my mom was my mom is like totally apolitical, and she was making fun of her. Well, last time I saw her a couple weeks ago. So Acton's going to have a hard time to overcome what she did during COVID. And on top of that, she quit.
And on top of that, listen to her talk.
Yeah, right now I would think they are really coaching her.
Yeah.
If if they really think she has a chance.
She's gotten better.
Yeah.
I've seen some of the later recent ones. It sounds like she's more coherent or more focused on a message.
Okay, but is she more focused answering questions? Because that's when she faltered.
Oh yeah.
She might be better at speaking without just giving a speech, but is she better at answering questions? Because that's where she was really flopping.
Kamala Harris. Can you say Kamala Harris?
Yeah, same
I mean, she was horrible at the talking points, even worse when you started asking her questions. Oh my gosh, it was hilarious.
Well, she had one good speech where she practiced and coached her and nobody challenged her. But as soon as she was challenged, she couldn't really be taken seriously. And Acton, I think, is going to be similar. Maybe not as bad as Kamala, though. That was bad.
So Daniel Horowitz thinks, he says in this post, a woman who was the GOP governor's DeWine, Minnie Fauci, during COVID, is now running as the Democrat and will likely win in red Ohio because of Trump machine candidate H1V, Vivek Ramaswamy, sucks that bad. This is what our political system with fake uniparty does to voters. Gives them a false choice that is no choice between two equally bad candidates, neither of whom represent anything the electorate broadly cares about or wants. So he was throwing shade on Vivek as well. Vivek, I don't care.
A lot of people are throwing shade at him, but
it's going to happen.
Yeah, you're always going to get that, and you do need to criticize him where he deserves it. I'm okay with that. But when it comes down to it, it's gonna, if he loses, or I should say, if the Republicans really get their asses whipped, it's going to be because of turnout, and it's going to be because of Trump. I mean, if the economy's not happening, and if the war is still kind of, if we're still paying $4 for gas, they're going to be eating shit.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're already expected to eat a bunch of poo, but it's just a midterm. But we'll see. I mean, and I see mixing though. I don't know if it's just people trying to gaslight or whatever, or just false, hopeful, wishful thinking. But some people are, oh, look at this race, look at that race. Democrats are getting their butts handed to them in some cases, but I don't know. It's just it's already a hard hill to climb, even with the best political situation for the incumbents who just won the last presidential election. So, it's just a matter of how bad it's going to be, is my opinion. But here's the one thing that I've heard some people, namely some other candidates, Casey, and others complain about Vivek, which is his stance on immigration. And they keep bringing up this one comment here. So I was going to play it since we just ripped on Amy for a minute. And let's see what your take is on this.
If we're serious about decoupling from China, it will also require expanded relationships with India.
Oh.
And I'm not just saying that because my name is Vivek Ramaswamy, I promise.
I mean, it's kind of true. Would you think? What do you think about that statement?
No, it's true.
Yeah. I mean, we do, if we want to not be so reliant on China, it does necessarily mean we will be reliant on, or we need to spread it out to other people. So we're not reliant on just one country, but we're always going to be reliant on a foreign manufacturing, aren't we? At this point, are we ever going to bring it all back? I don't think so.
There's too many obstacles. I think we should bring back as much as we can.
Something like there's key areas like, I don't know, penicillin.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Anything medical that should be made here.
Computer chips to some extent. I mean, you can't make them all here, but I think you need to have some capacity to make them in certain situations. So it does have, but there is something to be said about too many H-1B visas and relying on it too much, because as Vivek has said in the past, let me pull it up here. I did a search. What has Vivek say about H-1B visas? And basically he came out during the presidential campaign and kind of was against them, saying that he described them as indentured servitude, which some cases can be, but I really think you're talking about illegals coming across the border from Venezuela or from South America and Mexico. That's indentured servitude.
More so, yes.
Yeah, way more so than this. But a lot of these companies, they keep, they're paying these guys a fraction of what they would pay an American and that's why they want them so bad, because, and we're not talking about small mom and pop company. We're talking about Google and Facebook. They got a little money.
Yeah, they're abusing that.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be to go find the best of the best, right?
Yep.
And they're just using it to get ordinary people that they can hire here locally, and basically getting them for probably a 75% of what they would be paying an American, right?
Yeah, I think that's pretty close. Yeah, it says it continues on. While he previously used a program 29 times for his own companies. Okay, but maybe then he knows that it's indentured servitude to some extent. And then
I don't trust him on that. But I mean, if you own that size of a company, wouldn't you take advantage of it also?
29 times, I would wonder how is that even a drop in the bucket for some other companies? How many employees do they have? How many, that 29 times is out of context for me.
Yeah.
If they've got 50 employees, that's a lot. If you've got 1,500 employees, that's not that much, in my opinion.
No, that's hardly anything, really.
Yeah. So it's out of context for me. Then he kind of softened his stance a little bit on it. also with kind of aligning with Elon Musk and saying, no, we need to reform the program, saying it's still a good program, but people can't abuse it. It has to be for a certain talent level that you can't find here, so on and so forth. So I don't know. I don't think it's as damning as some people are saying. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think he's right in some ways.
The other thing is, I think the ordinary voter doesn't even know anything about this stuff. So
no, that's good point.
It's kind of moot.
Yep, good point. It may come up in how much people actually know about it. It doesn't hit us that much here in Ohio, at least yet. That's a California. It's huge in California because all the tech companies in Austin and stuff like that, from what I understand, which is not much. Next, we're going to move on to kind of on the same topic in a way, is talking about visas and bringing people in and talent and stuff. New census shows that Ohio, what we thought was losing people, may be gaining people. And I asked the question,
losing pets.
Why? Losing pets, but gaining people. The rodent problem seems to be fixed, but along with the increase in people. So last year, a report last year showing Ohio's population was predicted to decline by 5.7%, while the U.S. population would grow by 17.3%. In the next 25 years, got attention. But the state agency that put out that report said it has new numbers that indicate those forecasts may be off. And what it turns out is, they were just taking a guess at projections. They had really no, says later, I think in this story, they're like, these population projections are really based upon historic trends and certainly not what we want to see happen, and not necessarily a prediction of what will actually happen in the future. Oh, wait. Okay, you sure do push it in the news like that. Oh my God, Ohio's losing it. Look what happened to all the GOP. They're pushing people out. Oh my gosh. This was said by the Ohio Department of Development Director Lydia Mihalik. Well, I got that one right, Mihalik. I think I got it right. Historically, we've had a decline in population since 2001. And I don't know if you noticed, this article has a little chart. And there's a huge dip right about 2021. It says the influx of 11,926 people to Ohio is a dramatic turnaround from the loss of more than 32,000 people in 2021. What's going on in 2021? Oh, yeah. Amy Acton and Mike DeWine were pushing everybody out of the state of Ohio because they still had us in lockdown. I don't know. Were we still in lockdown in 21? I think so. Oh, I think we still had masks in school.
The trend started in 2019 going down sharply.
Yeah.
That's where it started. And then it really picked up in 2020. It bottomed out in 2021, and then it started rising. I'm not understanding why, though. The rising I get, you bring in 40,000 people from Haiti around that time, right?
Yeah. That's part of
it. That could be part of it. Yeah, I don't know, but did a lot of people did some bang in 2020 with
there you go,
being locked down.
That's a good point. Ohio is one of 4 states in the U.S. which reported more births, fewer deaths, and improved domestic migration from 2024 to 2025. That's a nice little phrase there. Improved domestic migration. So that's from other states like Kentucky, Montana, and New Hampshire. Ah, okay. I think that may have to do with like Columbus growing, the kind of tech boom going on down there.
But there's a dip between 24 and 25, according to this chart.
Yeah. Yeah, and it does start going down in 2019, but in 2020 it starts to just drop off the map. It's kind of dropping off, and then it gets even sharper. And then, shoots way back up. I mean, I think in 2022, we had an influx of almost 40,000. Jeez.
Between 2019 and 2021, that's like a 60,000 difference there. More than that.
Yeah,
no, right, roughly around 60,000. Yeah. What was that?
People coming back? I don't know. Leaving Ohio during COVID, or was that when did?
Between 21 and 24, there's almost an $80,000 difference. What's that? $80,000 person difference. Why that? I don't get this. This is
when did
the
tech boom start in Columbus? It's right around that time, isn't it? It's right around
2020.
Yeah. So take a couple years.
I mean, that's when they started talking about it, right?
And then a couple years later, when they actually start building, you're going to see an increase in people. A lot of people coming from out of state to work, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but are they going to be on the census?
Depending on when they took it, yeah. And I guess. Depending on when, I don't know.
I don't know. This is
there's a lot of building going on in Columbus. Is growing like crazy, and a lot of that's from out of state, I would guess.
I think somebody got high while they were doing this, and
and probably attribute to Afro Man.
Yeah, this doesn't make sense at all. Because I got high.
But it makes more sense than them going, we're projecting. We're not going to look at data. We're just going to project off of old data. And then we're going to put a news story out like it's fact. So good news for Ohio, I think. I think that was one of the knocks that they had on DeWine was Ohio was shrinking. And, of course, affordability and all the other stuff. But Ohio was shrinking. Why is Ohio shrinking under DeWine, under the Republicans, blah, blah, blah. Well, that doesn't seem to be the case now. Some of that was from the help of the Biden administration, though. So
when I was younger in my 20s, I kind of, let's go back to that time. Well, they go back to 2000, and it was shrinking for the next. Okay, so
it was.
I think there was a lot of people leaving Ohio, young adults leaving Ohio because, well, it's boring. The weather sucks, and there was more job opportunities for what they were going to college for. Possibly, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
There was no more manufacturing.
No.
That's what brought a lot of people to Ohio initially. If you're going to go back to the 70s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, 70s.
And then why is it dropping again? Big question. Because it looks like it's dropping significantly from, 55,000 back down to 40 from 23 to or 24 to 25. Still up, but I think we're going to continue to see that. I wonder what happens when the boom stops, slows down.
You think it's just going to kind of do the, what's that called? Just equilibrium. It's going to just level off to where it was.
I would hope.
Like there was a dip and then a boom, and now it's going back down to towards where it was. So it just might be like a weird.
Yeah, I always see a bump. Hopefully levels off higher than it has been. Can use more people, more workers. It's hard to find motivated people as it is. And if you're not bringing new people into the state, it makes it even harder. You kind of start to get stagnant. So good news. I'd like to see it. Let's keep it up. I think it's one of the greatest places in the nation. I mean, the winters are kind of crappy, but again, if you look at the bright side, there's no poisonous anything. And there's no poisonous spiders really in Ohio that kill you. Your house will not get blown away every 10 years, like in Florida and or Houston.
I think Northeast Ohio sucks, but Central Ohio is kind of, the winter is not the most awful.
Yeah.
And you got a lot more countryside if you're looking for that. Or, if you're looking for more urban setting, the city's nicer, I think.
It's amazing. You go to Columbus, or you go to Cleveland and you drive away from the downtown area and you just it gets slowly urbanized and then slowly more suburbial, stuff like that. When you go outside of Columbus, it's like you get to a point and it's farm. There's no gradual. Yeah. It's because it's growing so fast and it's like all of a sudden you're out of the city and you're in farmland. And then
it was different.
And then data center land.
It was different. It was different industries,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The suburbia grew in Northeast Ohio because of the industries.
Because they needed people, and data centers don't really need people too much. All right, we've beat that one to death. Census is going up, and that's good. Next is a quite interesting one. I do use the Turnpike quite often, and story here is Ohio is considering a new way to publicly shame people who don't pay their tolls. Let's listen to, this is ONN, Ohio News Network. I hit the story on. And they're going to talk about some of the problems and what the Ohio Turnpike is thinking about doing. It might have something to do with AI.
And the Ohio Turnpike is considering a new approach to crack down on unpaid tolls. More from ONN's Tracy Townsend.
The Turnpike is preparing to publicly name its highest unpaid toll offenders. This is aimed at commercial truckers, who the Turnpike says make up most of the violators. Officials also plan to use AI to ID drivers who try to dodge tolls by covering their license plates. In just the past year, unpaid tolls have totaled around $25 million.
Thanks to our television affiliates, WBNS in Columbus, WTOL.
Oh, I didn't leave that on there. Oops. Yeah, $25 million just last year in unpaid tolls. So they want to use AI to do the pattern recognition, so machine learning, not AI, because a lot of these truck drivers are smearing like grease on their license plate, so you can't read it, and then going through the Easy Pass lane. $25 million a year. That's a lot. It's $400 million budget, and $26 million, or around $423 million in tolls were charged, and $26 million of that went unpaid from the start of 25 through January of 26. And they want to get this money back, and they're putting all kinds of new stuff in, going more towards, I think they're getting away from the toll booths and going more towards a lot of states are doing this license plate scanning. You get your toll by the mail if you don't have Easy Pass.
Right.
So you go, I know when I go to Kentucky and go into Indiana, there is no tolls on the bridges. They have a couple bridges with tolls. It's all license plate scanning. Same thing in Illinois. You go through the tolls through Illinois. There's no toll booths. Basically, it's all you'll get a check or a bill in the mail if you don't have the Easy Pass. And Ohio Turnpikes, they already put a couple of spots up out west that have, they're putting a big thing across the freeways to get everybody's license plate and stuff. So that's another way. And then, but if you cover your license plate up, they can't get you. But I think the pattern recognition from the AI might help. Get some of them at least. So we're going to see more cameras, I think.
I think they're mainly looking for trucking companies, right, that do this.
Yeah. The trucks are most, well, they use it the most, I think, and they have the highest tolls when they go through. I think we were at, our company goes out to New York once a week, and I think we paid $1,000 a month in tolls.
Wow.
Because it was semi. So you get, they're expensive tolls. So yeah, it's big money. And a couple things in here I saw. They're currently on project to replace all the existing pavement on the Turnpike because almost 70% of it is still the original pavement from when they first laid it down. I thought was very interesting. I saw that in one of the articles somewhere. And moving on, we got another one about truckers. Speaking of truckers, watch out because they're coming for your job. Maybe, kind of, not really. They are. Seems that Ohio is partnering up with Indiana. ODOT partners with INDOT to test automated freight trucks. What do you think about this, Tom?
I thought it was something else when I first saw it.
What do you think it was?
I thought it was going to be the driverless trucks.
Yeah, so did I.
When I saw the headline, I thought that's what it was, and then I read, two sentences, and it's not that.
Yeah, they're automated, not self-driving.
They're not really. I mean, they're automated, but it's kind of like the the lane assist type of things that people have in their cars.
Yeah,
probably the mirrors too, right? Like the blinking mirrors.
Well, the blind spot, lane keep assist, automatic braking, blind spot warning detection. Yeah, so it's still going to have a driver, just the driver will be less competent.
Well, to me, this is kind of good for the ones that have an accident if they fall asleep.
Yes.
I don't think it's taking over anything. You still got to drive the truck. It's just going to, if you doze off and you start creeping over into the next lane, it's going to jerk you back.
Yeah, I think I think the driver situation has gotten to the point where I think most drivers need this stuff. And also,
well, the towels on their heads kind of indicate something.
Well, yeah, we'll get into that the next story. But
but
what I've noticed over the last 5 years, let's say, I think since just after COVID, so about 5 years, they've really cracked down on driving hours for trucks. And everything's digital now. You can't forge. It used to be before, if you went over certain air miles, a certain range from your home base, you had to fill a log out. But you could fudge that log because whatever you fill it out to whatever it is, whatever you say it is. But now it's digital. It's all, they can only drive for 10 hours in a day, and then they have to stop for 4 or 6 hours or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So what I notice now when I leave in the morning to go out, so I'll go to Columbus or go on a trip, drive somewhere. It's like 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning. The rest stops are absolutely packed, literally busting at the seams with trucks on the entrance berm and the exit berm of the station, and usually a couple of exits on either side of that station will have trucks at it because they have no choice; they have to stop. So I think that's taken care of the I'm too tired to drive thing, because it forces them to pull over. Whether they sleep or not is a whole other thing, but that's really, and what that does, I get it's safe. It is safe. It is safer, but it also raises the price of shipping because you can get less done in a day. And I've noticed that. So I think, and I also noticed the talent level in drivers. It's all fun and games until you need to back that thing up. And that's when the guys who know what they're doing really, you can really tell, because man, the people that pull in our dock sometimes, I can't even believe they have a license. So this will help, but that's kind of what I saw. I said, "Oh, really? So what happens when they get to the place and it has some crazy dock that they have to get into? How's that?" And then I read it. I'll go, "Oh, it's just what I have in my truck that I can turn off. So why can't they?"
Right.
I don't know. It's cool. It's good. I'm not sure why it was a story though. So sorry to even bring that up, people.
That's something.
But you will, if you see a truck with some crazy, all these cameras and stuff on it, you'll know what it is. It's just, and you can mess with it because it does say something in here. That's what I wanted to say. Something about if they swerve over, or if, for instance, if one of these semis starts to drift into another lane or miss a speeding car passing it, this technology steers a truck back into the lane. I thought that was weird. I don't know if it misses a speeding car passing it. Moving on. Oh, next. Tell us how much more I can ramble about this story. Send us an email at crookedrivercast@gmail.com. What do you think about automated trucks? crookedrivercast.com. Check out the blog every Monday. Got all the news stories we've been covering, a lot of the clips and all the stuff that we're playing. You can check out the full versions on there. Give us your comments. Give us a like on your favorite podcast app. And you know what? Go to our website, check out the email portion. Email us. Thank you, webmaster. Just email that. That'd be good. See how many of those we can get for our webmaster. She does a great job. Thank you. Just thank you, webmaster. That's all you need. crookedrivercast@gmail.com is the website. Send us your feedback. Thank you for listening. Moving on. Oh boy. I think I missed a story.
Yeah, the next story was the undocumented.
Yeah. I just went to check on it. And okay, so this kind of ties into the last one. I should have put the break before this or after this.
That's all right.
Bill would ban all undocumented immigrants from driving in Ohio. And I went, and then I went, wait, they can drive now in Ohio? But they can't. So this bill sounds like it would bar non-citizens without legal residence from driving in Ohio including those with valid driver's license from other states. I think there's the key. I don't think we're giving illegal aliens in Ohio driver's licenses.
No, I think this gives a little bit more authority to the law enforcement for when they get pulled over too, right?
Yeah, because now, sorry.
No, go ahead.
As of now, if they have an Illinois driver's license and they're illegal, they're technically driving legally because they have a legal driver's license from another state.
Right.
Sounds that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So House Bill 722 was introduced by Rep. Adam Byrd, Republican of New Richmond, and states non-residents who are unlawfully present in the United States shall not operate any motor vehicle under the threat of first-degree misdemeanor. The bill extends only to highways and includes people who are allowed to drive on highways in other states or who hold a valid out-of-state driver's license. So he says, Byrd says, illegal aliens should not be issued a driver's license, nor they be driving in any state of the union. So it says Ohio Bureau of Motor Vehicles requires to verify someone's legal presence in the United States before it can issue any documents. However, 19 state laws have you can allow undocumented immigrants to get valid driver's license, and I bet Illinois is one of them. In Michigan, probably.
I think so.
So any undocumented under this bill, any undocumented driver on highway in Ohio would be issued a first-degree misdemeanor punishable by 180 days in jail and a fine of $1,000. The new law enforcement officer who issued the citation would also send a copy. Here's very important. Send a copy to Immigrations and Custom Enforcement, alerting them of the driver's undocumented status. That, I'm going to say, that's the one. Why isn't that not there already? That's not already a thing?
It should be, right?
Should be. So good. This is probably going to pass.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yep. It says Byrd disagrees with policies like Illinois, who has, they'll give illegals driver's licenses. It's for safety, they say. I see stories all the time that I pass up for the show that are, this illegal, crashes in, kills family of 4, and on and on and on. You're not even just people here with visas who don't speak the language, but they got truck driver job.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a truck driving company and you give, even if he has a green card and is legally here, but he can't really speak English, how does he pass a test? Do you print it out in his language? And a lot of times they're that hard up for drivers, though. So this was
I do wonder, do they give the test in a different language, or do they have somebody that translates it for them?
Yeah,
and takes the test for them, basically.
Yeah, either way, it's freaking ridiculous. I think we mentioned this at one place I used to work. We used to get a lot of stuff out of Canada there, and they're always Indian, Muslim, Eastern, or Europe, or Middle Eastern born who didn't speak much English, and
right.
They would always ask us, "Can you back up, please? Can you back up truck, please?" Like, dude,
jeez,
yeah. And they had a 70,000-pound weapon,
right?
So this is good. I like it. Hopefully, it passes. Probably will. It's all a matter of how much it passes by, and will Mr. DeWine veto it, because he likes immigrants. He likes illegals. And we'll see. Keep an eye on it. And that's moving on to the one that's not on the list. There we go. Ohio bill, the next one. Another bill in Ohio, which may not be that good, is a hotly debated Ohio bill that defines antisemitism moving forward. Okay, let's just start with who's doing this? Ohio News Network. No, it's WOSU, which is part of
basically
NPR
I think
PBS.
This is NPR,
Yeah.
right?
But this is Sarah Donaldson. So we have to do first for Sarah is always we got to have a focal fry warning. Focal fry warning. To get you in the mood. Now we can listen to her.
Ohio lawmakers are moving forward with a bill that codifies a lengthy definition of anti-Semitism. It's reintroduced and amended legislation from the last General Assembly. The Ohio Senate bill makes the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance's definition of anti-Semitism the law, at least in civil and administrative investigations by state agencies. Here's GOP Senator Terry Johnson.
Over 2 years ago, following the horrific, brutal, merciless October 7th attack on Israel, we witnessed a concerning wave of extremist demonstrations across several American college campuses. Anti-Semitism, unfortunately, is seemingly on the rise.
4 of the 9 Democrats in the Senate voted against the bill. Those against it argue the IHRA's working definition risks infringing on the First Amendment by restricting anti-Israel comments. Sarah Donaldson at the Ohio Public Radio Statehouse News Bureau.
Oh, Andy's always the best. Bureau. Gosh, I can almost not pay attention. It's so bad. And then when you listen to it on the headphones, it makes it even better or worse. So, all right, Tom, what do you think? Sounds.
This is awful.
I know, it's so bad. I don't like it at all. Yeah. I don't like any kind of activist group, regardless of whether I agree with them or not, to be making law. But it's just like,
I don't think there should be any anti-Semitism. But the thing is, it's like they allow that, but they don't allow other things. So it is kind of like, you know, you want to have your let's say conservative youth group come there and talk to the students. They won't allow that, but you want to protest Israel, no problem.
Yes. And I think they've dragged on. I think they've used up all their October 7th that they can. I think we've gone past that. Literally, we're 9,000 targets on Iran. I think October 7th has been spoken for, or revenge has been done. Can you stop bringing it up under every freaking circumstance? Yeah, well, anti-Semitism is on the rise. Has it gone anywhere?
Well, I think
it's never really gone anywhere. Is it?
No, it's always been around. I think it's a little bit more prevalent because of social media. And you know what? Yeah. Israel is losing support, especially among the younger people. And they want to stop that.
And among Republicans too.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's the whole anti-war thing, which is what I'm kind of like anti-war, pretty much. And if Israel's kind of like always there poking us, then I don't like that.
Yeah. Well, speaking of social media, these kind of two stories are that's why I put this one in there. This next one, which is a Medina County man jailed, facing federal charges for threatening a mosque. And then I read the story and I got questions. So let's kind of tie this all in because it's similar. Let's hear from who we have this from. Oh yeah, this is News Channel 5. This is Medina man threatens mosque. Let's talk about it. Listen.
A Valley City man is jailed tonight facing federal charges after the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force says he threatened a Lorain County mosque. And all of this comes during one of the holiest periods for Northeast Ohio Muslims. News 5 investigator Scott Nolnow with more on what he's uncovered.
At the Oma Center in Columbia Station, mosque leaders prepare for Eid, the celebration marking the end of Ramadan, while 20-year-old Wyatt Broska spends it in jail. The Valley City man facing a federal weapons charge and accused of posting threats to the mosque on social media.
Honestly, it's quite disturbing.
Fatanada is with the Northeast Ohio chapter of the Council on American Islamic Relations.
Why would anyone attack worshipers, people who are going to go pray? That's just That's just sick. It's just horrible.
According to a criminal complaint, the FBI received a tip in November regarding a, quote, potential mass shooting threat. Investigators say they traced that threat to Broska's TikTok account. An agent wrote the matter was turned over to the Medina County Sheriff's Office, which then closed the case after Broska said the threats were a joke and that he was just trying to upset people and get a reaction. But days later, the criminal complaint alleges Broska was back on social media, this time, according to the FBI agent, referencing the 2019 mosque shootings in New Zealand that killed 51 people. According to court documents, law enforcement again interviewed Broska, who again said the post was just a joke and he thought it was funny. Agents said Broska admitted not liking Muslims because of the things said online. The FBI says he also stated he planned to try to stay offline more. It's a pattern Auda calls concerning.
How many people have to come out and say stop it until it escalates to become a very serious thing?
Then last week, another tip to the FBI, again concerning videos indicating someone may be planning an attack on a mosque in Columbia Station. In one video from this month, agents said Broska, dressed in what resembled military fatigues, zoomed in on a mosque. Agents say the text on the video read, "You will feel it." 2 days later, an agent wrote that Broska posted 12 videos on TikTok, including photos of him holding a long gun, wearing a tactical vest with loaded rifle magazines, and a recording of what an agent said sounded like a 911 call where a woman reports a man with a gun and then the sound of gunfire. Records show Broska was arrested days later. A man at Broska's Valley City home didn't want to talk with us about the case, and Broska's attorney said he's waiting for more information before commenting. Auda, thankful he's off the street and hopeful the arrest restores a sense of safety to the community.
It's inexcusable, definitely, but we do hope that that he learns from this. We hope that he can change.
I'm News 5 investigator Scott Knoll.
Yeah, it's crazy that someone would, attack worshipers like does she come on? To me, it's hard for me to take somebody of the Muslim faith. I should, because I don't know her, but seems like pot kind of calling the kettle black. But this kind of ties in. Okay, so if you can get this guy, there are no laws specifically for Muslim hate. They can get this guy, from what I can see. Did he threaten that mosque specifically? It says nowhere in the article or in the news report that he physically, or he literally said, "I'm going to shoot up this mosque." So what do they get?
I don't know. He's being pretty threatening there. Sounds like those videos are threatening.
To who though? Like,
well,
I mean,
he's
why
at a mosque? He's not maybe not a specific
mosque.
Maybe not a specific mosque. I mean, this kid's a dope.
Oh. Yeah, he doesn't look like he's laughing in the picture.
Well, no, I mean, I'm just saying he's dopey. I mean, you would like them to talk like this when Christian church gets shot up, but
that's kind of that.
I get.
So why?
I get your feeling on this, but I think this kid was dopey, and he was doing stuff that he probably shouldn't be doing.
Absolutely, I'm not defending him. I'm really pointing out that what do you need extra laws for? You can get this guy for doing similar things that you're talking about.
Right. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. But
what do you mean extra laws?
They want to put a bill that defines antisemitism so that they can get you for a hate crime online. Right?
Is this anti-Semitism?
What this kid was doing. No, but it's on the other side of it. What I was saying is, if you can catch the guy complaining about shooting up a mosque, can't you catch the guy trying to shoot up a
well, they just don't want you saying anything bad about Jews.
Yeah. I get it. Yes, I know. It's true.
Yeah, no,
October 7th, Tom. October 7th.
I get, but this guy is kind of doing a little bit more extreme stuff. And you don't need a law. You don't need a law. I mean, that whole anti-Semitism thing is bullshit. Yeah. But this is...
Exactly. This guy's creepy. But I know, you know how you could tell he's not a Fed?
I just look at him. He doesn't look like a Fed.
They actually arrested him, Tom.
Okay.
The other ones are like, they went to his house 7 times and never arrested him. Well, definitely sounds like a Fed to me. But This guy, no, definitely not, because he's actually in jail right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, they got him on weapons charges. They probably got some technicality to slap him on the wrist. I'm not sure what they can do with his posts or anything. I mean, I get the threatening part, but you got to be pretty specific. I mean, you just show a mosque.
That's true.
I guess my point was why it says nowhere that he pointed to this specific mosque in North Olmsted or wherever it was. North Olmsted, I think they said. So they got the FBI got a tip, but nowhere did they point out why they thought he was going after that mosque. So, but really, I started looking at these two, going, yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, the laws are enough that you can get people who are threatening Jews or Muslims. So take your hate crime definition of anti-Semitism, stick it in your pooper. Okay. Moving on. Click. Checkmate. All right. Medina man arrested. Oh, and this one I've been holding on to for a couple of weeks, is trying to see how it flushes out. But apparently the efforts to repeal the marijuana restrictions has failed. They did not get enough signatures, which I kind of figured they wouldn't, because in my opinion, they're pushing on the wrong issue with this bill, because all they talk about really is it the marijuana restrictions on any total ban on intoxicating hemp products being sold in, like gas stations and stuff. But what marijuana restrictions? Everybody they gloss past that. GOP created marijuana restrictions and a total ban on intoxicating hemp products. The intoxicating hemp products is one issue. I'm kind of on the fence about it. What's your feeling on that?
How can you be on the fence about drinks? Oh, the drinks and stuff?
Like in a gas station. Like you go to a gas station, you get Delta 8 or whatever.
I don't think they should be banning hemp products at all. I think it's a better product if you're looking for the edibles. But yeah, I guess you need to. I mean, you can't be selling that kind of stuff at stores. But if you're selling beer, why can't you sell this?
Yeah, exactly. A total ban to me is the typical Republican thing. Instead of just putting some age restrictions on it, which is really all it needs. It's just another. So it's like beer.
Right.
Liquor, beer, and it's sold in the same place. I mean, you go to the gas station. They have one gas station by my house has a whole cabinet locked up with all their THC products. And I guess that will be going away. But the part that everybody's kind of sliding past is the marijuana restrictions. And from my understanding of it, is the GOP has to meddle. The people was put to the people. They said yes to both medical and recreational, and the GOP just has to mess with stuff. So what from my understanding, I don't even think it mentions it in this bill or in this article. It's really only talking about the businesses and all that kind of stuff, this is one story, which I totally get. But I'm just trying to make sure this is not the story that has the quote in it. But the bill institutes a public smoking ban and prohibits smoking in cars. It also gives landlords the ability to prohibit smoking and vaping, bans outdoor venues from allowing marijuana, and requires all products to be kept in the same package that they were brought in. It also makes it a crime to have an open marijuana container, meaning if someone has a baggie of edibles in the back seat of a Lyft or a public bus, if it had ever been opened, they would be breaking the law.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Seems like dumb.
Yeah, they're just looking for
legal
another
to have it, but you can't smoke.
They're just looking for another revenue stream. Hey, you get pulled over and you got an open container. It's illegal. Here's a $200 fine.
Yeah, I think it's the GOP just didn't want this law to begin with. They're very against legalization of drugs in any way. That's just as a group in general. Yeah. I'm sure there's people in the party that aren't, but I think that's what this really comes down to. They're just. It feels like they're just pissed that it got passed.
Well, it was a long way coming. I mean, it's going to happen.
Yeah. It's starting to happen federally. They're releasing, or I think the Trump administration is lowering. They're going to be able to test it now. I think coming soon. Actually, do tests. In the past you weren't able to because it was such a third. It was a narcotic. Yeah, like the highest level drug,
Yeah.
and that means no testing or anything. You can't do it anyway.
So now they're able to test it for medicinal usage, and they're trying to do that with psilocybin now too. Get that relabeled.
Yeah, I pulled a story out because we already had too many, but it was questioning what the effects of THC are, and some studies that were saying it doesn't do what people say they was done, and all this other stuff. But
yeah, it's kind of, well, I agree with that, but I don't know.
I get the open container part maybe in some ways, but
How?
if I have
Why?
a pill bottle in my of Vicodin in my car,
Mm-hmm.
and I've opened it before, am I going to get, and it's sitting on the dash, am I going to get a ticket for that or arrested for that?
I don't think so.
Why is this handled differently? Yeah, I get, like, if you got especially if you had like a THC drink you were drinking in the car.
Well, that
maybe
I could tell,
possibly
but I mean,
that would
like,
be an
let's
issue.
say you carry around some gummies or mints or whatever edible you take.
They have mints.
They do, but anyways, if you have a tin of those and if it's open, who cares?
I think it has to be in the trunk of your car or something like that.
Okay, what
Can't
next
be
to your
within reach.
gun? I mean,
well, that's in. If you have a truck, do I put it in my bed? Is that where I put my beer?
I don't. Yeah, this is kind of, it's just government being government.
It's government overreach, and it's one thing both parties are really, really good at.
Now, what? Okay, if somebody gets pulled over, let's say they're weaving, and they have an open container or a tin of gummies, then maybe.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, how else are you gonna? Is there a test yet for stoners?
Roads, no. That's one of the issues people have with it is, like, you could test positive for THC and you could have ingested it weeks ago. So how do you test? It's not like alcohol. Alcohol goes away in like 24, 48 hours.
I get it. I mean,
that's like when you're at work too.
It is a problem. I mean, it does cause confusion, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Probably shouldn't be impaired while you're like a truck driver.
Yeah, but if you can't test for it, then you're kind of screwed. That's the thing. That's the problem. It's a big problem.
Yeah. Unlike alcohol, it lingers, and there's no real way to. And a lot of companies they're just taking it out of the test. They're doing a drug test, but it's a 9 panel instead of a 10 panel, and then the 10th panel is THC that they take out.
Right. So let's say I read my local police blotter, and I would say 90% of the things that are listed are people pulled over for speeding, and then the cop says, in quotes, I'm going to put it, he smells something. So they search the car, right? And they find weed.
Gummies.
Well, they find weed, but now you're going to find gummies, right?
Yeah. I smell the sugary scent.
Is it just to kind of cover, like before they can give you a ticket for that? They can confiscate it and give you a ticket. Now, if you have gummies, they can't do either of those things. So is this just to make it so they can confiscate it and give you a ticket for it and get their couple $100?
Get their couple $100. Bingo. It's like DUI.
Yeah, I think this
more
is
for revenues than safety.
This is just for revenue stream.
Yep. Oh, what a segue, Tom. That was perfect. I know you did that exactly on purpose. Speaking of revenue streams, next story is the checks have gone out now. Been waiting for over a year and a half now for the checks from the dispensaries to go to the communities, to the local municipalities who have these dispensaries in their cities. They were promised to get a cut of the tax revenue, and so far they have not. And then they passed a new bill, kind of forcing. I mean, it was in the original bill, but for some reason Columbus didn't want to share, and then they passed another bill to force them and may really state exactly what should be coming. So here is, I think, News Channel 5 again for tax revenue, and we're going to go over some of the numbers here because I don't know, they're pretty impressive in some cases. I mean, especially when we talk about local municipalities.
Well, Ohio communities that have dispensaries are finally getting tax revenue from recreational cannabis sales. It's something that was promised back in 2023 when Ohioans approved adult use marijuana. Well, according to state tax records in Northeast Ohio, Canton is set to receive the most in taxes generated through 2025 at $1 million. Akron and Cleveland follow, with both cities receiving more than $800,000. Well, I cover Lorain County, and we learned 3 communities received a total of nearly $820,000. Here's how that money is being spent. Between September of 2024 and November of 2025, Elyria earned $374,000 in tax revenue from recreational cannabis sales. That's the largest payout among communities in Lorain County that have dispensaries.
We weren't sure we were ever going to see it.
Payments were withheld until the passage of Senate Bill 56 in December. Under the legislation, 64% of cannabis tax revenue goes to Ohio's general fund, and the remaining 36% goes to communities that have at least one licensed dispensary. Elyria Mayor Kevin Brubaker tells me the city expects to receive $23,000 a month moving forward.
$23,000 on a $50 million general fund budget that we have, it's kind of like a needle in a haystack. It's not a lot, but it will help.
What are you going to do with the money? I mean, more than $300,000, that's a lot.
Well, like most cities, we struggle with funding and revenue, and we sat down with our finance director and our safety service director and came up with a plan that we were just going to put it into our general fund to help stabilize that, and then we use that to fund all of our different departments in the city.
Well, it's not a lot, but we do struggle to fund it. Well, every dollar is a lot if you're struggling to fund. What do you mean it's not a lot? $23,000 a month? Jeez. I know in this budget, with percentage to the budget, maybe it's not that much. But
it's always a drop in the bucket whenever you ask them.
Yeah. 23 grand a month?
Drop in a
How many
bucket.
people can you hire with 23? How many cops can you hire at 23 grand a month?
Well, it depends on how much overtime they're getting.
Well, in that case, one. Part-time one. So yeah, they're getting some cash. And Canton with $1 million. I think they're putting any of that towards the schools. I couldn't keep a straight face. We talk about Canton and Stark County and all those places, Cleveland, all this other stuff being hard up for cash. I think the schools would take 23 grand a month. Yeah, I think they take it.
Oh, they take it and waste it.
I'm sure it won't go there. Well, I mean, yeah, regardless, they'll still take it. So yeah, the money is starting to flow.
They would take it until the kids start smoking pot so they'd get more.
All of a sudden, you see money start going to schools, and all of a sudden the posters in the hall.
It's all right.
Change.
Keep the population stoned. They won't know what to vote for. Just tell them you're going to give them stuff.
Vote for more pot. All right, so they're good for them. I mean, it only took 2 bills to get it done. But thanks, GOP. Appreciate you. Next on our list, got this one. This one's interesting. What's the North Royalton police? North Royalton's moving to fire a whistleblower. 3 News investigates North Royalton moves to fire officer who filed whistleblower complaint against top police brass. And let's listen to a little breakdown from it from News Channel 3.
Tonight, new fallout in a story 3 News investigates has been following for months. The city of North Royalton is moving to fire the police officer who filed a whistleblower complaint against his top brass. The city, though, says it's about records handling, not retaliation. In a notice of disciplinary action obtained by 3 News investigates, North Royalton Mayor Larry Antiskevich has moved to fire Patrolman Spencer Lowe.
How much have you had to drink tonight, sir?
Not much.
The officer who arrested an impaired armed deputy police chief from Orange Village last October then filed a whistleblower complaint, claiming that his own chief and lieutenant deleted the felony gun charge from the record system. In a statement, Antiskevich called his move, quote, based upon the findings of the police department's own internal affairs investigation. He declined further comment to protect due process.
Gun
The city says it's not about the complaint itself, but how Officer Lowe handled the records, claiming he had a sergeant pull confidential, unredacted documents and pass them to his union attorney. That sergeant is now being demoted to patrol officer. The Fraternal Order of Police fired back, saying, quote, the people who altered the records still have their jobs. The people who expose them are being shown the door. The union calls it textbook retaliation against a whistleblower.
The union is now appealing Officer Lowe's firing, but that appeal goes to the mayor who authorized the punishment. So the FOP plans to take the matter before an independent arbitrator.
You know what's funny about the story? Larry, the mayor, I can hardly pronounce his name, Antoskevich. He's the mayor of North Royalton. He was my union boss when I first started.
Was he really?
The girl or the demotion of Flo Ann Ribicki. She is married to a guy I played baseball with. And I met her back when I was about, I'm guessing about 24, 25. And we were out. I saw her husband. She was there. She just became a cop. A nice looking girl. And we got shit-faced. And then the guy who got busted driving, Patrick O'Callahan, who's a cop from Orange Village, he's my FFL.
What?
I'm like waiting to find my name somehow weird in here.
I'm going to check. It's nowhere in.
It's like,
I don't see
as
it
I
anywhere.
read through the story, I'm just like, oh my God, I have, there's people in here I actually like know and partied with. And
So the mayor, Larry, is married to Flo.
No, Mayor Larry was my union boss.
Oh, okay.
Flo is married to a guy I played baseball with. He was a good friend of mine back in my later teens and early 20s. And she's a sergeant there. She, when I first met her, I was in my 20s. Yeah, she got demoted. So she's probably back on the just patrolman. And the Patrick O'Callahan, who was a cop in Orange Village, who basically got pulled over for drinking. A good guy. I feel bad for him, but he was my FFL. Yeah. He was a cop selling guns.
Which would bring up why maybe he pushed to have that gun charge.
Yes.
I mean, besides it was a serious charge with.
Right. They don't say anything in the report there. So we should tell people what happened. Right. So he got pulled over for drinking, recklessly driving, 55 and a 35, swerving. And he had 3 firearms in his possession. And I guess they weren't, he shouldn't be drinking with 3 firearms in possession.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's any. I'm not sure if you're allowed to have anything in your car when you're.
Well, I think if they're locked up in your trunk, I
maybe.
don't think that's a issue. I'm guessing, and that's what he got busted for. And I think they kind of hid that. They took that one off the charges, the firearms possession.
DUI is bad enough. I think that would be a federal charge or something like that.
Well, yeah, he would lose his FFL license, and I would think I have a good feeling that guy who erased that was probably, was a guy who used him as his FFL.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I guess the question I would have, though, is would that happen to any of us?
Oh, no, this is scum. Yeah, this is bad. Yeah.
Part of the reason bad cops get away with a lot is because of this kind of action right here. It's cops taking care of their own.
Well, this is why I don't think there's an honest cop. Every cop that you think is a good cop knows a bad cop, and he doesn't tell on. It's a brotherhood. I get it, but at the same time, this is kind of what makes me hate cops. But
yeah, in a lot of ways,
Flo was trying to do the right thing. I've met her a year. I haven't seen them in 25 years. She was a good person. This Patrick guy, I thought he was a good person too. I mean, he just did something stupid,
just Yeah. And from the video I saw, he's pretty hammered. He couldn't pronounce Cuyahoga County, which this is not easily pronounced. But when you had a few drinks,
You know,
it's even worse.
when I was playing in a band back in the day, that we did not a lot, but a couple times a year we would do a fraternal order of police party, like event, and then we would also have play private parties for some of these policemen, which was weird because they would always be like, man, because we had a guy who liked to get stoned all the time. And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. Most of these guys get stoned. I'm just like, okay. Yeah. And then I didn't participate. I wasn't friends, but he was friends with a couple of cops were friends with guys in the band, and they would go out partying. And the guy, my buddy from the band, is telling me, yeah, we went out partying. And then when we're driving home, he's doing like over 100 on the highway. We get pulled over. He shows his badge and the guy just lets him go. And it's like, man, it's just abuse, man. I get having fun and all that, but it's just like, if that happened to me, I'd be in jail, lose my license.
Yep. Lose your ability to have a gun.
Yeah.
Could be. A lot of times, yes. Just that alone could, at least for a short time, you could be.
Does a DUI and doing over 100, does that equal a felony? I don't know. It might.
It's reckless op.
Yeah,
sure.
I don't think it's a felony, but
no, maybe not. But with the gun in the car,
yeah.
I don't know. All the laws go crazy when you've got alcohol plus firearms in the car. This is bad. I mean, I get they're getting him on a technicality. So here's the other side of it. He kind of did probably break the rules by, giving unredacted files to his union boss. It sounded like he did. And Flo was the sergeant. She gave to him the files, and then he gave it to the union boss. So I get I think it is retaliation, but they kind of got him on technicality. I'm not sure how much of a case he has. Maybe not firing, maybe not demotion from sergeant to beat cop is appropriate for this type of. I'd like to see how they've handled other situations similarly that weren't like whistleblowers, like somebody mishandled some other kind of files. What did they do to them? And does it match up? But yeah, this is. They may have a case. He may not be able to fight it, but I think with the whistleblower, I mean, I would think he'd let it slide because he's trying to make the department better.
Yeah, but the mayor's the last in line. So even if they win the case, the mayor's the one who makes the decision.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be some arbitration maybe, or they're going to take it to court or something like that. But really, I don't. The people who erased his gun charge are still employed. So there's the biggest point there. The union saying, look, the people who did the deed, who did the cover up, are still employed, but yet the people who told you about the cover up are getting fired or demoted. Right. So everybody should get demoted or fired. How's that?
Well, except the person that told. Flo doesn't deserve this. She's the whistleblower.
I know, but they did go out of. I mean, they did break protocol or break the rules in some ways, right? By giving somebody unredacted. I'd have to see what the rules say and all that stuff. I'm going off of what they say in the article and the thing, but so there might be some reprimand there. But in this case, I would say, yeah, you're right. It shouldn't be any. But technically, I could see how they have a case because if they did mishandle files, I just think there should be some grace given because of the why, the context really matters in this case. And they're not getting that. And that's kind of what the union is saying. So what does the union say about the other police officers? Right, because they're in the same union. The police officers who covered up.
Yeah, but they're just sticking up for the person that got demoted.
I would hope they would come out and say these other officers were in the wrong.
They're never going to do that. They're in the union too.
They're going to try to walk the line. Yeah, they're going to try to stand. I get it.
It is strange when everybody's in the union, right? Mm-hmm. It'd be like management being in union with the regular employees. It doesn't really work.
Yes. Yeah, when you get up in that sergeant role and the captains and stuff, I mean, yeah, it gets kind of a gray area. Mm-hmm. All right. Moving on to that. We'll keep an eye and see what happens to them. They're going to fight it, and we'll see how far it goes, and maybe we bring it up again.
And again.
All right, wrapping up with the final story in our main segment here. Tom, it's happening. Did you see it? It's happening.
Green fireballs.
Remember the Meteor? Well, we just started the whole thing, it sounds like. Because, oh my gosh, they're everywhere. Let's listen to... I got a clip from Benny Johnson, who I do like Benny Johnson to some extent, but man, he is so hyperbolic sometimes. It's funny.
He loves the clicks, right?
Oh, he loves the clicks. He loves the clickbait, which drives me nuts a lot of times. It actually turns me off a lot of times, but because you click on it like, no, this is nothing. It's nothing like your title. But this we're going to bring him in right in the middle of his rant because he barely takes a breath, so it's hard to cut in. So here he is talking about a pattern that he's seeing with all of a sudden a high increase in fireballs in the sky all over the country. There you go.
I consider myself a room temperature IQ. I just work hard and, well, pattern recognition. Anybody can do it. And we happen to do it because we're just obsessed with news and we're constantly monitoring the situation, I think, quite well. But that's about it. That's our only superpower. And, well, we encourage you to join us in the chat if you have any specific patterns you happen to notice. Here's one that we've noticed as of late. Fireballs in the sky. Check this out. Fireball in sky. Here we go from one day ago. Video shows a bright fireball in Northern California. Kind of terrifying. Colorful fireball streaks across the sky in Colorado. Meteor lights up the sky in Texas. Produces many loud booms. Many people say. People across the Pacific Northwest report green fireball in the sky. Fireball lit up the skies over Oregon. Would you look at this? Hancock County fireball. 2 fireballs light up the sky in Michigan.
6.
Oh, man. And if you start actually looking through the international headlines, you'll start to notice that it seems like they're preparing us for something. Oh, wow. U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency has just purchased aliens.gov. Donald Trump has just ordered the release of all the alien files after Barack Obama said that there were aliens. This is aliens.gov, by the way, right
Nothing
now.
There.
It is not online yet, but they bought it right in time for, of course, the top UFO scientists in the U.S. military and in the country to all go missing at the same time. This is a real story. It's really happening. 5 missing scientists send chills across America. 3 are dead. What is the troubling link? They all studied UFOs. They were all physicists working inside of classified bases. All of them had great pedigrees when it comes to the UFO programs or whatever they're called inside of the black box of our intel agencies and military. Conspiracy theorists realizing they're about to be right again. Do you think that you're about to be right again? I mean, a member of Congress was on my show this morning saying that he's really concerned about what's going on with the missing UFO scientists. It seems like somebody's trying to get ahead of the big announcement. What's the big announcement? Well, NASA just said they're about to build a moon base. NASA has projected a plan for a $20 billion moon base.
That's the funniest part of the whole thing is the government thinks they can build a moon base for a mere $20 billion.
20 billion.
Come on,
well, that's
crazy.
Cheaper than the transit in California.
Yeah, how about 200 billion? How about 200? You forgot a zero there, guys. Yes. So all of a sudden, everybody's noticing a huge increase in meteors, fireballs is what he's calling them, around the sky, like we saw last week over Medina County, all over the country. It's all over the YouTube media. Very, very exciting. Very exciting. There is an increase. Is it anything? Is it aliens, Tom?
I want to say yes.
I do want to say yes.
I do.
It would fit this timeline.
We're not there yet.
No, I don't.
I think we go.
But I think
the planet goes through asteroids belt twice a year, right? And the other thing is everyone's got a dash cam, everyone's got a Ring camera, everyone's got a cell phone taking video, and
dash cameras is the biggest one, I think. That's
I would say
change.
most of those videos I saw were from the dash cam.
Yeah. And you see them. We saw them all the time in Russia. We used to see a lot for some reason. We see a lot of Russian dash cams, for accidents, but they also would show, rocket attacks, or they were showing meteors and all this kind of stuff. So that's a big part.
I'll tell you what. Yeah, when I used to do a lot of traveling for the band, so it would just be me and another guy in a van, or sometimes the whole band would be in a van, and I'd be driving or I'd be in the passenger seat, and you know what? It happened more than a handful of times where I saw something and I'd be like, "Hey, did you see that?" They'd be like, "What?" Mm-hmm. and nowadays you just kind of rewind your dash cam, I guess.
I think that's what we learned about last week was they're saying this happens all the time, probably daily.
Yeah.
But usually no one ever sees it because it's in the middle of the ocean or something.
Well, there's that. And before, like whenever I look over and go, "Hey, did you see that?" They'd be like, "No, what are you talking about?" And they'd be like, "Oh, he's stoned." Like,
I mean, we really know what this is all about, don't we? I mean, it's really just all about, covering up for the Epstein files. That's everybody. I got a friend of mine who likes to rag on another friend, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's the Epstein files." I said, "I know, because we can't talk about two things at once." He's like, "No, nobody's talking about the Epstein files." I go, "You just said the Epstein files 3 times, so you're talking about it." He goes, "Oh gosh, you got me." It's like, because we make fun of another friend.
Well, it is funny that you can derail the media pretty easily with a new story, and forget about the old story. It's
total something shiny and new.
Yeah, clicks.
Lots of clicks, and it's happening. Fireballs, green fireballs. Click on the video. Well, I fell for it, but I figured it would be good for this show.
Yeah, you know what, Benny Johnson, I avoid. I follow him on Twitter,
generally.
But
he has some good takes every once in a while.
His takes
usually surrounded by a bunch of babble.
Yeah. It's just hyperbolic clickbait.
Yeah, a lot of it.
It's not.
I mean, he's got 5 million subscribers.
Most of the time, he's kind of right. It's just hyperbolic, you know, just the way he presents it.
Yeah. It really is the clickbait that drives me nuts. And you know who else is doing that now? Tim Pool.
Yes, I was thinking the exact same thing. He is. I think a lot of the content creators, if you want to call them that, I would think the political commentators are struggling right now.
Yeah. Ad revenue's down. That's one thing. Viewership is probably might be down, but it should probably tick up towards the end of the year, election and all. But yeah, they're struggling and they're changing tactics, and now it's just vague. Tim Pool's titles were usually pretty descriptive of what he's going to talk about. And maybe that's the problem.
They were always a little hyperbolic, but they weren't totally off base. And now it's
he's right, and you're like, well, now you have to click on it to find out, and that makes me go, pass.
Yeah.
I could see right through it.
Well, you know what? Now, like as of late, I mean, because he's a guy who I watched on a daily basis, but now I listen to the first 30 seconds. I'm like, God, just shut up and turn it off. You know?
Yeah, you get the news story, and then he drags. I get the feeling he tries to drag it out, which I know some ways you get. You can't have a 3-minute video. It's not going to get you any ad revenue. But that's the problem is you're trying to get ad revenue. And you know, I'm not trying to judge him too much, but you got a big business, you got a lot of people. He's trying to divest himself from it. You can tell he's trying to have a family and a life and all this stuff. You got to have revenue to pay people. It was easier when he was just paying himself.
Yeah,
I'd imagine. But hey, I mean, I give the guy credit. He's built a nice little business.
Yeah, but built it on what? That's
on him.
Well, on him, and it's like. It's oversaturation of himself is one problem. The other problem is it's YouTube.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, he's on Rumble now, so
it doesn't matter. I'm just saying you're relying on
it's same
other
idea.
things.
Yeah, it's the same idea. So I think this everybody's hyper focused on the sky now, and was going back and checking their dash cams for meteors and posting online.
Yeah.
Some of them are pretty big, man. There was one out west. I mean, it lit up the whole sky at night. It was pretty crazy. Speaking of meteors, we got to hit the good things segment for the day. We're wrapping it up here. We bring good things to life. And speaking of the meteors, we currently now have a whole bunch of people apparently flocking to Medina County, Ohio, to look for pieces of meteorite. And let's listen to a little bit from Fox 8, but they are very excited, very, very excited, and it's got some revenue into it. You can get some cash from these things. Apparently, here you go.
A park in the quiet Medina County community of Sharon Center is considered prime hunting ground in the search for fragments of the meteorite that blazed across the sky on St. Patrick's Day. 40-year-old Roberto Vargas of Bristol, Connecticut, is part of a small army of meteorite chasers who converged on Northeast Ohio after scientific evidence from Doppler radar revealed pieces of the 7-ton fireball were scattered across an area of Medina County.
Basically, they use the AMS trajectory to look along that line to see if it looks like there's any hail that only lasts a sweep or a couple sweeps, because that's what rocks in the air kind of look like, hail that only lasts a couple seconds.
Vargas says so far he has found 2 pieces of the meteorite in Medina County.
No rock on Earth looks like this. The fusion crust is unique to meteorites. These surface features unique to meteorites.
It turns out there's a market for meteorites. Among those willing to pay for the fragments, individual collectors, universities, and museums. The value is in the age of the shattered meteorite and its rare scientific qualities. Roberto Vargas says in 2017, he made $40,000 from the first fragments he collected and sold from a meteorite in Costa Rica.
This was on the other side of the moon 3 days ago.
That's pretty cool.
Now it's here. I am the first human being to touch this stone. This stone is 4.56 billion years old. It tells us about the creation of the planets. It tells us about the origins of the species. So it's really fascinating stuff.
Can you tell us what it tells you about it, please? Because if the rock's talking to you, so they're hunting rocks, and actually a couple of these are pretty cool looking. Almost like the one I showed in the news, in the article or the report is it's like a round, little pebble, but it's got like these little pebbles, almost like tiered, like liquid dripping off of it, like it was melting in the atmosphere, and it when it cooled with like a drop of. It was pretty cool.
There was one article. I thought I saved it, but I couldn't find it. Anyways, there was an article with a picture here. It was here in Medina County of a fragment that was about the size of I would say maybe a little bit bigger than a baseball. Oh, yeah, wow. It was. They found it in a field, and it left a freaking crater, man.
That'll kill you.
Oh yeah,
baseball from the heavens will kill you.
Yeah, baseball, and probably weighs like, that little thing like that probably weighed more than a few pounds,
dense,
right?
Probably. Yeah, I bet it's super dense or something weird.
Yeah.
It's either really light or I don't know. It could be either, I guess. But yeah, I bet. I think it's pretty cool. He's like, a couple days ago, this was on the other side of the moon. I'm like, that's pretty cool. I'm nerdy,
or was
obviously,
it?
Or was it, Tom?
Moon. Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it was part of the garbage from the basin side of it. They just spit out.
They shot it from a cannon from the opposite side of the moon. Dark side of the moon.
Hey, that's a great album.
Yes.
So for at least for a little while yet, until they scour the area and pick it clean of any rock that looked anything close to a meteorite. Hopefully they pick up some garbage along the way and clean the place up while they're there. But they're coming from all over the place. And it's kind of like like storm chasers and those kind of things. They're meteorite chasers.
A little less dangerous. Treasure hunters.
Treasure, yeah. If he's getting $40,000 for a freaking rock, that's pretty awesome in my opinion. Pay for a lot more trips I bet it paid for his trip to come to Medina. So spend some of that money here, baby.
I wonder what he does for a living. I always wonder what people do that do this kind of stuff. Like, do you have like 2 weeks of vacation and you're like, oh, okay, I'm just going to take my 2 weeks and go try to find some meteor fragments?
Yeah, I know. So I've over the years heard storm chasers like that. Yeah, I have 4 weeks a year and I take it during tornado season to go chase tornadoes. And I think it was maybe a documentary because I think they were waiting on a tornado or a storm and he wanted to see one and he couldn't and his vacation was ending. I'm like, You're not married, are you?
Not married, no family. But I mean, if you're going to make a few bucks from it, then what the hell? Why not?
I would say probably the best current job for most of these guys is cleaning mom's basement, maybe.
Yeah, you never know, but I think
he made 40 grand.
Yeah.
So
well, I mean, that's like in 2017. He stretched it out till now. He needs another 40.
Yeah, he needs another 40. Hurry up. All right. So if you find any rocks, let us know. Moving on to another story from last week, a follow-up or a add-on from last week. We put it in the good things segment because that wasn't the good things segment. But Afro Man's got some legs. Afro Man's got some legs. So this, again, the algorithm did what the algorithm does on YouTube and put this in front of my face this week. So here is a video that the Adams County Sheriff's Department put up in Colorado because they are getting calls, comments, and emails ripping on them for suing Afro Man. And they're like, I don't know, 4,000 miles away, 3,000 miles away, something like that. And apparently, according to the video, there's 6 or 7 different states.
I was going to say, I need to know how many Adams counties there are.
Yeah, it says in the video, they show it real quick in what part of the video, if you watch it, shows the states. I think there's 6 or 8, maybe more, of states that have an Adams County. For some reason, they keep focusing on the one in Colorado.
That's weird.
And they put this little video out. So it's a little PSA from Adams County, Colorado.
So some of you have heard, most of you haven't. Adams County Sheriff's Office in Ohio and Afro Man are in litigation with each other. We know some of you have heard it, though.
Here's all the comments. How could you sue him? You guys, how's a lemon pound cake?
So we want to provide you a quick geography lesson. We are the Adams County Sheriff's Office in Colorado. They are the Adams County Sheriff's Office in Ohio.
Show Ohio.
So, before you start sending us messages, calling us, emailing us, DMing us, you may want to Google it.
I think it'd be great getting a bunch of pound cake.
I mean, as long as it's good pound cake. But would you eat it?
Good point.
There you go.
Is it boxed from a vendor?
As a police officer in today's day and age, I don't think I'd eat any of it, no matter if it's sealed or not. No, thank you.
There are 12 Adams counties in the United States. Yep.
That's what it was, 12. Yeah.
Colorado being listed as the first one. Huh. Interesting.
Because it's in Colorado, maybe because, alphabetical, maybe. I don't know.
I'm looking at, it is alphabetical what I'm looking at here.
Okay. Why would it be first? Maybe that, and that's probably why they're getting all the feedback. Probably. Because it's at the top of the list when you Google it. So they did Google it. They just didn't notice the CO instead of the OH. I-O. All right. Last story. Here's a quick one. We'll run through it. If you're wondering where you can go find some cherry blossoms in Ohio this year, here's the article for you. They're predicting, they say April. They put a date on it. I thought they had a date sometime in April when they're expecting first week of April. The cherry blossom trees in Ohio, therefore, they should begin their blossoming by the first week of April. Once bloom, steady warm days, and cool nights with light winds overall, best to keep peak conditions on the trees. Then we got a list of nice places to go. Akron Towpath, Greater Cleveland area, Athens, Ohio, state capital area, Cincinnati, all over the place. Go see the
close by to us. I think the Wade Lagoon looks awesome once it's blooming.
Oh yes, that's right. Wade Lagoon is completely surrounded with cherry blossom trees. Yep. Pretty much. At least it used to be. Yeah, that was a good place to take pictures. Ideas.
Mm-hmm. Except there's too many people.
Yeah,
that's the hard part. You have to get there really early, but you're still dealing with for photographs, people. If you're just going to go there,
don't go on a Saturday afternoon.
If you're just going to go there and enjoy it, have fun. But
don't go on the Saturday afternoon about between 10 and 4. Oh
yeah. Yeah, all the brides.
All the brides. There's the limos everywhere, and there's just white dresses and sweating tuxedos everywhere. But yeah, that's actually not a bad. I haven't tortured my kids with a photo shoot in a while, so maybe put that on.
It's time.
It is time. It's been a minute. So check it out if you want. If it's something you want to do, take the girlfriend, take the wife, a nice little nice little walk through the cherry blossoms. Check it out. Check the article. Give you some ideas. And that, as they say, wraps up the show, Tom. It's over already. And it's not over until I check all these off. So hold on. Check that one. Check that one. And the last one. Subscribe to the show if you don't mind. Share the show with your friends, your family. We really appreciate helping the show grow. If you've got any feedback, please send us an email, crookedrivercast@gmail.com. Check out the blog, crookedrivercast.com. Every Monday when the show drops, you can follow along with our articles and news and let us know any shenanigans in your area. We'd like to hear about it. And on that, say thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.
Peace.